Hello and welcome back to this edition of Minstrels on the Block with Mr. Nova Izumi. So now you went to school and the religion part of it was not your bag, but you wanted to learn the music. What was the name of the school?
It was a Visible School of Music. It was, if you're into Christian music, you probably know who Skill is. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything about him, but yeah.
Okay. Well, now moving forward, then past there, here you are today, and you've got your music, which is really I like your music. I think it's really cool stuff, and I think it's got a really neat sound. And you have some other hobbies going on as well, like some like designing going on and stuff like that. So tell me about that.
As far as the design stuff, it's more has to do with my music. It's everything I'm working it into tying into my music. It's because ultimately my goal is to be able to have a theatric presentation going on instead of just a regular band, in the same clothes that they wore yesterday, or whatever they bought that looks trendy, or whatever. But more is like I paint my face certain colors or something, or like really extravagant makeup, and really, really cool stuff oriented with the songs to basically kind of act out the songs. And I guess in almost kind of a Peter Gabriel kind of way, but not so much. I mean, who knows? It could end up with somebody that has a big budget, decides they want to invest in it, and it could very well end up being a very Peter Gabriel-ish, high end sort of deal. But you gotta do what you got, Yeah,
well, that's true. That's cool though. Hey, having a theatrical music thing, that's really cool. I am really interested, obviously, in like filmmaking and things like that, and theatrics, and I greatly appreciate exactly what you mean, and I can relate to it. We were talking earlier, and you'd mentioned something about as far as filmmaking, that you have like some experience, or at least talent, as far as filmmaking is concerned. I
mean, visual art in general I'm very keen into visual art. It's one of the more natural things when it comes to what I do artistically. I was drawing. I was one of those weird kids that was drawing three-dimensional figures when I was 2 years old. So I think my mom still has a picture of it. I think it was on a wall or either on a chalkboard or something. I was only like, I think I just turned 2 when I drew a road going up like it was,
perspective.
Perspective, type deal, and the cars going like they were going forward. And normally 2-year-olds can't fathom that kind of stuff.
No, 2, I was still playing with blocks. Yeah. Well, that's really cool. You're a complete all-around artist. So tell me about your shows. Tell me about like people you've played with and things like that.
I haven't played with too many people. As the first band that I had when I was being in Columbus was this band called Battle Flag. A lot of younger kids know about Battle Flag. And it was a fun band. I have a kind of a signature sort of big sound that just comes with everything I do musically, and it had that sound going on, and it actually had a pretty big following, and I had some of the people that were in that band still live around here. Actually, I think it was Danny CTVEA, Gallery 13. He's been begging us to have a reunion show forever. But the other members, I kind of left and tried to leave Columbus and kind of build out on them, so they're kind of mad at me. So
got some Beatles going on. Now, okay. Now you've been playing with Sean Rocks now, off and on, which I've got some videos I need to give to y'all. But now your stuff is really cool. There was a tell me about your like, where do you play, and what are actually your musical influences? Like, where do you... Now, you're definitely yourself.
Yeah.
But, like, most of us, I know I have people that, you know, in our early time of playing music, or even before we played music, people that we like to listen to. And frequently that evolves and changes over time. Tastes change. So, what are your favorite influences now, or musicians, and what were they when you were younger?
There's so many. Many. There's everything from I've mostly only been into a lot of obscure people. That a main thing that I've looked forward to in any other artist is someone that takes something and does something with it that they're not supposed to do with it, but makes it work and actually develops a formula for how they do it. Mm-hmm. And those are most of the artists that everything from Kevin Shields from My Bloody Valentine to, you know, I hate saying it, but even Steve Vai to some extent, and a lot of jazz guys, it's like jazz rock guys. I guess Alan Holdsworth, and there's this new guy. Well, it's not really new. He's played with. If you're familiar with Asia.
I'm familiar with the name.
He was a hired gun for them for a while, and he's doing his own solo project. He's got some really innovative, incredible stuff going on now. It's more current, but stuff when I was younger is mostly just like, I know when I was like, when really close times with my parents, when I was like, everything was very Christian, and I couldn't bring in anything. Like, I honestly really wouldn't listen to much anything. It was just, you know, I heard sounds that I liked and sounds that I didn't like, and I wanted to create the sounds that I liked and put them together and make my own painting of sounds, and that was all I thought about when I was really young. But now it's turned into more of a. It's still that same spirit in a way. I listen to a lot of traditional, you know, different ethnic cultures, you know, music and stuff. Everything from Asian, Japanese, traditional music, and mimic with my guitar primarily. Just the different textures, different Irdu. I think it's Iru, however you pronounce it, Iru or whatever. But it's such a smooth sounding, beautiful instrument. And like I remember hearing it one day, and I fell in love with it. I was like, I gotta figure out how I want to be able to play my guitar like this instrument plays, because it's basically like one long, you know, pole, and there's tuning pegs, and then there's a chamber of wood down there, and it's a very elegant looking instrument in itself. Like, it only has 2 strings, so you slide everywhere, you bend in the strings for the vibrato.
I got you.
So it has such a rich vibrato to it, and it sounds so smooth because you don't go horizontally. You mostly end up going up and down. So
sounds like an instrument John Phillips would appreciate.
I'm very serious.
That's really cool. So you, as you are going now, are you hoping in the future to have like full band, or or is your vision to be a one-man show? I
definitely want it to be a full band, but because I'm such a tedious artist, like I'm very adamant about having, other tedious musicians play with it, because music to me is a giving thing. I want to be able to give people an experience, a really great experience, to where they can leave from a show and just have smiles on their faces, just like, this was an incredible show. I mean, I don't care if nobody talks to me. I almost would rather, like, sometimes just leave through the back and nobody see me. I just wanted to give, when I can, and inspire people. It's the biggest thing, is really just trying to inspire people to, do what they love, and just approach it with the utmost passion. And it's a huge thing to me. It makes me smile when someone looks at me and they tell me, like, that really was an inspiration for me. Didn't matter what it is, as long as it's an inspiration for something good. And
I am all about innovation. I probably don't do a lot of innovation myself, and not on the level that you do, at least. But I do know that between two opposing sides, and I don't know what progressions you use, but your artistic use of music and doing all this innovation, as opposed to, now this is where I'll probably get lynched by somebody, but I've never been a huge fan of the blues, and so, like, the blues is all smooth and everything, and I listen to it and it's like, it wants to put me to sleep. I listen to your stuff and it's like, you are doing things. You're not doing the same thing that everybody's done for 60 years. You are doing new things, and that is that I like that. I appreciate that immensely, and I love the fact that you draw from that your interests have been obscure artists. A lot of my musical inspirations have been obscure people, at least obscure in this area. But I really hold what you do in high regard. And speaking of what he does, let's go to another one of his songs. When we come back, some views from Mr. Izumi and shameless self-promotion.